As for retail sales, they had held steady in June, defying economists' predictions of a decline.
This is breaking news on WDSU.
All right, we have new details about that major breaking news story, a tech outage impacting flights, banks, media outlets, and other agencies around the world. Cybersecurity company CrowdStrike just issued a statement saying the issue has been identified, isolated, and most importantly, a fix has been deployed.
So to kind of give you a little background here, this company in particular sells antivirus software to companies like Microsoft and other large corporations, as well as government clients. We're now learning this outage is even impacting people's ability to buy groceries and gas. So if you're waking up, if there's a tech issue you're dealing with, this is probably the cause. One expert says it appears an update may have been rolled out globally without proper testing. This all started shortly after midnight, but CrowdStrike has not addressed the ongoing outage, possibly linked to its software, but unfortunately, it's having crippling impacts at airports across the country, including ours here at home.
Yeah, WDSU reporter Anam Siddiqui joining us live from Armstrong International, where she has been all morning. Anam, we know the situation is really seemingly unprecedented. What does it look like right now?
Ladies, people are frustrated. I'll show you the line for Spirit here. This is the ticket booth, and this line just continues to stretch. One family over here we spoke with say that they've been waiting to just check in their bags for over an hour now. Also, the United line will show you that that's also continuing to stretch. I know United is one of the airlines that posted a statement that they're working to restore this system. And I spoke with one person whose early morning flight with United got canceled. He didn't even find out until he got here to check in. Another woman I spoke with, she's waiting in line for an hour now. She's nervously checking her phone for updates, just hoping that all of this doesn't impact her flight. Take a listen to what she has to say.
They were saying that it is an IT error. They said that all across the world, Microsoft has shut down, and the computers, they aren't working. It shows up as a blue screen.
And again, many of these check-in lines just continue to grow since we've been here since about 4:45 this morning. Now I have made calls, emails, and text messages to MSY officials, just waiting to get an update for you all. Now, my recommendation, if you can, get here early because of these issues that it seems like continue to grow here at MSY. But for now, I'll send it back to you all in the studio.
I'd be fearful to go to the airport even at all.
Oh, absolutely. I might just delay my flight a day or something, but hopefully that fix in the works and will be fixed quickly. Well, let's turn now to weather, because you will want to pack that umbrella and raincoat once again. Yes, more rain in the forecast. It comes as much as southeast Louisiana. Saw flooding Thursday afternoon.
Unfortunately, we could be seeing more of the same today on this WDSU First Warning Weather Impact Day. Damon Singleton joining us now with some cloud cover already moving through.
Yeah, we've got some partly cloudy skies across most of southeast Louisiana. This is the view through our Island View Casino camera on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Some cloudy skies just like we have in southeast Louisiana. And we've got some pretty strong storms that are developing just to the south of our area. And some of that is making its way over parts of Plaquemines Parish this morning as well. Otherwise, most of southeast Louisiana is rain-free. In fact, as I expand out and show you the picture of the entire area, you can see that we are rain-free except over towards Lafayette, some heavy thunderstorm activity there. And if you're headed east on I-10 this morning, some very strong storms over Mobile this morning. Your temperatures, well, they've been pretty nice, about the same as they were at this time yesterday, with those low 70s for the most part across the North Shore. If you're in Picayune, you're at 72, just like Bogalusa. Covington, you're at 71 degrees, my friends. In Slidell, you're at 73. Over in Tallysheek, you're at 72 as well. Down here on the South Shore, we've got some mid to the upper 70s for the most part, only 73, however. Over in Houma and Port Fourchon is at 84 degrees this morning. Your hour-by-hour forecast, I'm expecting temperatures this afternoon down here on the South Shore to rise into the mid to upper 80s. Maybe some low 90s as well. The rain chances are pretty high, but the best news is that there's no triple-digit heat index values this afternoon, so I know that makes a lot of folks here smile, that's for sure. On the North Shore, your temperatures kind of mid to upper 80s, some low 90s out there as well. A very good chance we'll see showers and storms here and on the North Shore, just like on the South Shore. And while we're expecting temperatures today to rise into the mid to upper 80s and low 90s tomorrow, those numbers are very similar to what we're expecting this afternoon, some upper 80s to the low 90s. And it looks like that's going to be the case on your Sunday as well, with those temperatures mid to upper 80s and low 90s once again. So it's still going to be pretty hot outside, but not as hot as we've seen over the last couple of weeks. I'll be back with an idea of how much rain we can expect today, tomorrow, and through next week coming up in a moment.
Damon, thanks so much. As you're waking up and heading out the door, we continue to watch a crash over on the West Bank at the intersection of General de Gaulle and Life Center Drive. Seeing some stacking building on the approach, but thankfully not causing any major impacts. But you do want to keep that in mind if you will be traveling through the area. As you travel westbound on 10 from Crowder down to the Claiborne flyover, it's a 14-minute ride. And I haven't seen any major issues for you on your West Bank arteries. Just don't forget the eastbound side of the Harvey Tunnel is shut down, so the 4th Street Bridge or the elevated expressway is your best alternate. If you're traveling southbound on the Causeway, no restrictions or advisories, a 25-minute ride there. And from Slidell down to the Superdome, still a 30-minute commute.
So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States.
This morning, reaction pouring in to Donald Trump's night on stage at the Republican National Convention, accepting the party's nomination for president for the 3rd time in a very long speech that called for unity and also repeated typical campaign rhetoric.
That highly anticipated speech comes just 5 days after Trump was nearly killed at a campaign rally. Our Washington correspondent Jackie DeFusco joins us with the highlights from last night.
Well, former President Trump did tone down the direct attacks on his Democratic opponent, only mentioning President Joe Biden by name during one part of a speech that lasted for more than an hour and a half. But alongside Trump's appeals for unity was some common campaign rhetoric. An emotional crowd at the Republican National Convention as a bandaged Donald Trump detailed his brush with death for the first time publicly.
And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell.
Just 5 days since surviving an attempted assassination, accepting the GOP presidential nomination for the 3rd time.
If I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight.
Trump kissing the helmet of former fire chief Corey Comparator, who was killed during his campaign rally on Saturday. Then a call for national unity.
We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America.
But soon after, pivoting to typical talking points about his legal troubles.
If Democrats want to unify our country, they should drop these partisan witch hunts.
The economy and immigration.
I will end the illegal immigration crisis by closing our border and finishing the wall.
A historic week, ending with the slogan that started it all.
We will very quickly make America great again.
In a statement after that speech, the Biden campaign said that Trump, quote, sought to find problems with America, not to provide solutions. And they also criticized some of the things that were left out of Trump's speech, such as his role in overturning federal abortion rights and his plans to pardon those who were involved with the January 6th Capitol attack. Reporting in Milwaukee, I'm Jackie DeFusco.
Meantime, calls for President Joe Biden to end his re-election bid are intensifying. Many senior-ranking White House and Biden campaign officials are now saying privately that they believe President Biden must step aside. A Democratic governor in touch with party officials says, quote, the next 72 hours are big, and this can't go on much longer. Other sources say Biden has become increasingly isolated, but a White House spokesperson says the president hasn't changed his team. His campaign insists he is staying in the race and has a chance to win, but some sources worry Biden isn't getting good information about his polling numbers. And here at home, New Orleans police are investigating a hit and run that happened just before 10:30 last night on Chef Mentor Highway near Michoud Boulevard. Police say a woman died at the scene. No other details are being provided as this investigation continues.
And Maureen, the North Shore really coming to grips this morning with the loss of 2 young lives to accidental shootings. It comes as we're learning more about the tragic death of a 3-year-old in Hammond who accidentally shot himself in the face. Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff Gerald Sticker says that he believes the father left the bedroom to grab a bottle, and that's when the boy discovered the gun wedged between the mattress and the box spring of the bed. We're told that the dad did everything to try and save his son's life, but that boy sadly passed away. Sheriff Sticker is urging everyone to learn from this death. Make sure that all of your guns are locked and stored properly, but neighbors just still in shock as the family processes through this grief.
that's a tragedy. That's horrible. Man, I would be so distraught. I wouldn't even really know how to push on, to be honest with you. That's hard.
It comes as a 15-year-old girl living in Goodby passed away Wednesday night after being shot in that home. The bullet accidentally going off in another room, piercing the wall, hitting her.
Yeah, just your prayers are with those families. Well, 2 New Orleans men are accused of crimes related to child porn. They were arrested following investigation by the Attorney General's Cybercrime Unit.
Leaders with that unit say that they were tipped off by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And as a result, 22-year-old Jared Franklin faces 2 counts of distribution of pornography involving juveniles. And 76-year-old Richard Howard faces 8 counts of possession of pornography involving juveniles. These are 2 separate investigations which are ongoing.
Well, the St. Tammany Fishing Pier is getting a $2.4 million facelift to repair damage from Hurricane Ida. That project can now move to its final design phase before moving into construction. The St. Tammany Parish Council says they have been working to repair this pier since Ida, and now they can, thanks to that FEMA money. The parish president also saying they will try to strengthen the pier against future storms. Well, happening now, animal advocates gearing up for a really big weekend, hoping to get dozens of shelter pets into their forever homes.
Yeah, this is like their big fest almost. The Louisiana SPCA is partnering with PetSmart for its National Adoption Weekend. So we're talking hundreds of dogs and cats being featured at each PetSmart location in the metro area, all to help them get adopted. So today, Saturday, Sunday, the LESPCA will close its shelters in Algiers and Plaquemines Parish and will take all of their adoptables to these 4 stores over the next couple of days. And get this, dogs over 35 pounds are free. So today they'll be at these 3 PetSmart locations, South Claymore, Manhattan, Harahan locations. The times are there on your screen. Then tomorrow they'll be at these 4, the times listed here as well. The dogs and cats come spayed, neutered, even with a bag of food, microchipped. It comes as more than 70 pets found their forever homes last weekend.
All right, still to come, continuing coverage of that major tech outage impacting really every aspect of your daily life, including airports. This is a live look from MSY this morning. We'll tell you what we know coming up.
And we're expecting more rain and thunderstorm activity, the possibility of some flash flooding back in the forecast for today. I'll tell you all about it in your first warning weather.
This is breaking news on WDSU.
And at 6:13, we want to welcome you back as we continue to follow this major breaking news story of a global tech outage impacting flights, grocery stores, banks, and much more. So if you're dealing with issues this morning, you're not alone. This is a live look from Armstrong International Airport where passengers are growing frustrated. You can see why, waiting in long lines at TSA and ticket counters. We have learned this is a problem stemming from cybersecurity company CrowdStrike, which provides software to many companies globally. They say they have identified the issue and a fix is in the works. We will continue to keep you updated.
Meanwhile, prison calls may soon cost cheaper for inmates as a Federal Communications Commission has voted on a rule that is cutting the cost. So to put this in perspective for you, at large jails, 15-minute calls can cost roughly $11, but the new rule will lower that to just 90 cents. At smaller jails, a 15-minute call costs about $12. That's going to be lowered to 35 cents. There will also be a per-minute rate cap for video calls. This vote comes after President Biden signed a law last year that clarified that the FCC has the authority to regulate call rates at correctional facilities. 6:14 on this Friday. It's a WDSU First Warning Weather Impact Day. David Singleton already seeing some of those storms moving across our radar.
Yeah, we've got most of it is just offshore, and it's been affecting parts of Plaquemines Parish on and off for the last couple of hours. In some areas, it looks pretty good outside, and other parts of southeast Louisiana, it looks pretty cloudy, and we're going to see those clouds build as we go through the next several hours. We've been talking about the fog that we've been dealing with across parts of southeast Louisiana. Much better conditions now, but still over in Belle Chase, 1.7 is the visibility there, and 4 miles is the visibility over in Houma. Otherwise, the rest of the area, the visibility is pretty good. Your headlines for today, well, once again today, we've got a marginal risk of excessive rainfall that could lead to some measure of flash flooding. So big heads up for all of us there. Rain and storms in the forecast today and through the weekend. And the result of the cloud cover and the rainfall is that the temperatures are lower than they've been for the last couple of weeks. So that's some good news, I guess. Here's a look at how the actual temperatures and the feels like temperatures differ across the board. And as you can see, not a big difference except over at the lakefront where it's 80 degrees. But it feels like 85 degrees this morning. So that marginal risk of excessive rainfall includes all of us in southeast Louisiana, Hancock and Pearl River counties for today. It's back in effect for the entire area again on your Saturday, and it's also in effect for your Sunday. There's not much in the way of rainfall over land right now. It's all along the coastline and affecting parts of Plaquemines Parish. Once again, some pretty strong storms moved through Port Sulphur a little while ago, and that's going to have an impact on the St. Bernard Parish coastline. And otherwise, just south of Grand Isle, lots of thunderstorm activity. Most of this headed towards Plaquemines Parish as well. But if you're in Grand Isle or Port Sulphur, if you look to the south, you probably see quite a light show taking place down there. If you're heading out to do some fishing, take a look at these numbers. I think you're going to be pretty happy. Grand Isle, the range of tide there, 1.9 over at the Wrigley's. 1 foot is the range of tide for you, and 2.4 over the Southwest Pass. Here's a look at your low tide and your high tide times across the board this morning. Good luck to you as you head out to do some fishing. Temperatures outside right now, low 70s if you're on the North Shore. Down here on the South Shore, some mid to upper 70s, 80 degrees over at the Lakefront Airport. It's been about 82, 83 down by Port Fourchon this morning. And here's a look at your high resolution model. We're putting this into motion. Not showing a lot of activity across southeast Louisiana over the next couple of hours, except down along the coastline where most of the thunderstorm activity is right now. Into the afternoon, the picture doesn't change too much until we get to the mid to the latter part of the afternoon and evening. Some of these cells could drop a lot of rainfall in a short amount of time, which is why we've got that marginal risk of excessive rainfall in the forecast for today. Saturday, I'm expecting more showers and storms. We'll probably wake to some coastal rainfall once again tomorrow. And your Saturday, late morning and afternoon, some scattered showers and storms are a possibility for us once again. A high chance of rainfall at about a 70 to 80% chance. And it looks like that's going to be the case for your Sunday as well. Here's another model showing the rainfall chance for your Friday afternoon. Some pretty heavy rainfall, especially in the uptown, downtown areas, a possibility once again this afternoon. Friday evening, maybe something over towards Bogalusa, stretching into Slidell as we go into your late evening hours. And then Saturday, we're expecting more scattered showers and storms. And as you can see on Sunday, a lot of the rainfall that we're expecting is down here on the South Shore for the most part. So excessive rainfall is a big issue today, tomorrow, and on your Sunday. Warm and humid conditions otherwise. And a quick look at your WDSU First Warning 7-day forecast. You may have some fog for the next couple of mornings and into your Monday as well.
Damon, thanks so much. Well, continuously quiet across our north and south shore arteries as you travel between Slidell and the Superdome this morning. Not seeing any major issues from Chef up and over the high-rise all the way down to the Claiborne flyover. If you're traveling between the upslope of the high-rise and Metairie on 610, it's a 10-minute drive in both directions. And still not seeing any major issues for you eastbound on 10 from Kenner to the downtown area. Some minor congestion, though, building eastbound between Loyola on your approach to Vets, but nothing you should be majorly concerned about. On the West Bank, seeing just a little bit of congestion building for drivers traveling from Elmwood over to the West Bank across the Huey P. Haven't seen reports of any accidents there, but we continue to keep our eyes on that Surface Street crash at the intersection of General de Gaulle and Life Center Drive.
All right, Deja, thank you for that. Well, are you ready for it? Well, Southwest Airlines will be. The airline announcing it's adding more flights to accommodate all the Swifties flying to New Orleans for the Pop Stars performances this fall. She's set to play October 25th through the 27th. Inside the Caesars Superdome. Meanwhile, a blow to the black and gold even before the Saints season starts. The key players injured and what this means for the team about to start training camp. And we are 1 week away from the Summer Games. How Team USA is prepping for the Olympics in Paris.